triggers and combined with some knowledge. Today we're gonna have a tough subject, tough topic, a powerful question. What would happen if United States and Europe stopped being allies, instead of allies being enemies? Well, no explosions, no movie scenes, just numbers, maps, and hypothetical consequences. First section, trade and money. Well, you know that between United States and EU, European Union, there is a very close link, a trade link. The annual trade goods between these two entities, let's say, is 1 trillion US dollars per year. The largest bilateral trade relationship on earth. Largest trade ship on earth. It is larger than US and China, or even larger than United Europe and China. Because the United States and the European Union are each other's the largest economic partners in the world. And now comes the most intriguing fact, so hold on, put your seatbelts. Together, United States and Europe account for over 45% of global GDP. Global GDP. To put this in perspective, almost half of the world GDPs combined is made by these two countries. Well, United States is several countries, United Europe is a community of countries. Every year, more than $1 trillion flows across Atlantic and vice versa, because American companies earn more profit in Europe than China and Japan and India combined. And if Europe close its market, American exports would fall down to only 20%. Supply chains would break, prices will rise, and exports will go down to about 20% of now. The economic wars are never loud, they are felt at the checkout. Each year, United Europe exports in the US goods $500 billion in goods. The US exports in the EU around $350 billion in goods. The key American exports include aircraft and aerospace machinery, pharmaceuticals, refined fuels, and electronics. The key European exports to the United States: cars, auto parts, chemicals, machinery, medical products, and technology. And these trade supports millions of jobs on both sides. Well, we talked about trade because trade is the most important part of the story. But there is even a bigger part than trade here, so put your seatbelts even tighter. The total mutual investments between US and EU. So, mutual investments between United States and Europe is around $5 trillion. We talk about investments. Well, this number of $5 trillion is more US investment seats in Europe than in all countries combined. Next, the dollars and the sanctions. The power of United States stays in the US dollar, of course, and does not come from America alone. It works because Europe supports it. Most global sanctions succeed only when Europe enforces them too. Without Europe, countries trade in euros, local currency, or alternative systems can be initiated. The sanctions worldwide lose weight without Europe, and the dollar will lose leverage. The financial pressures become a suggestion, and in this case, not a weapon. Now, military. United States has the most powerful army in the world. It's strong, but not everywhere, not all the time. Europe hosts critical United States bases, logistic hubs, and command centers. And Europe is the community that allow rapid movement toward Eastern Europe and Middle East and Africa. Some key points for United States and for interest in the United States. Without Europe, America spends more, travels farther, and reacts slower. Power still exists, but it becomes more expensive, of course. One important chapter here is technology and rules. Well, let's geopolitical, so let's talk about this side as well. Modern power, is not only relied on weapons, it relies on technology and standards. Europe mostly write rules that shape global internet, for example, data privacy, artificial intelligence, and environmental technology. When Europe and US agree, the world follows. When they don't, maybe others write the rules, and that's not in both countries' interests. And companies don't choose sides. They follow regulations. And the future belongs to whoever sets this framework. Global perceptions. If the United States and Europe split, the message to the world is simple. The West divides from the East. Allies will start to hesitate. Rivals will advance. China and Russia will gain confidence, not because they are stronger, but because unity disappeared. Great powers fear many things, but isolation is the biggest of them. And here is a brief conclusion of this video. Without Europe, United States will not collapse, but it will become more isolated, more expensive, more contested. And I want to close this video with a very strong sentence. Power works best when shared, and all alliances are quieter than wars and stronger. This was a calm look at a loud questions of today's geopolitics. Now it's time for you to write down some comments below related to the topic, and may God bless you, and until next time, I wish you all the best.